So let's weigh in with Missouri Senator Josh Hawley. Senator, the war started a few months ago because Iran could not be trusted. They were on a path to a nuclear weapon. They weren't going to be stopped. The funding of the proxies was continuing. Israel is constantly under attack. Anything in this MOU make you feel as though any of that behavior has changed?
Well, Brian, I haven't seen the final text yet, but I'll tell you what I like for sure, what I've heard reported. Number one, that the Strait is going to reopen. That's going to be great for the American economy. It's going to be great for oil prices, gas prices, fertilizer prices in my state of Missouri. I like the fact that the president has gotten a ceasefire here that will now extend. I like the fact that their nuclear program, Iran's, is buried under 1,000 feet of rubble, and it's not going anywhere, Brian. I mean, the president made sure that it is buried. I believe it is buried for good. Those are all good things.
So I'm used to every single Democratic senator to being against every single thing that Donald Trump does. It just comes with the territory these days. But when Senator Ted Cruz weighed in about what he saw and what he read, he said, telling The Hill this, history teaches that giving billions of dollars to theocratic lunatics who want to murder us is not a good idea. I think the president receiving some very poor advice on this deal. Senator Ted Cruz is usually by the president's side. Do you understand his worry and concern?
Well, let's see what happens here. I mean, as the president just said, there's nothing final. This isn't a final agreement. This is a negotiation. This is an agreement to negotiate further. I think the fact that the president's getting the Strait reopened, that he's got their nuclear program buried, those are big achievements, Brian. I think those are good things. And it remains to be seen whether we will actually give them any money. I thought I heard the president say earlier today, we're not going to give them a dime. I certainly don't think that we should. And I bet President Trump and the vice president, as he continues these negotiations, will hold that line.
But, Senator, they are allowed to sell oil, and they have more oil than just about everyone, including Iraq. And that will be the first time in decades they're able to sell oil on the open market. They're usually using ghost fleets and rusted-out tankers to deliver it to our let's say, our rivals like China and China. Your thoughts about the fact that everyone agrees they're allowed to resume oil and petroleum sales?
I thought your last guest, I thought the ambassador had a good point there about potentially using escrow accounts, ways to track to see, first of all, if they're living up to their other obligations under the memorandum before we release any of that sales, before we allow them to get their hands on the money, and then using accounts that will allow us to ensure that they're not spending that money on terrorist activities, on nuclear enrichment, and so forth. There's a lot to be worked out here for sure, Brian. And again, I haven't seen the final text, nor have I been briefed on it, but I can tell you, I think that the president's focus to try to draw this to a close, to try to make sure the Strait gets reopened, that the American economy gets some relief. I mean, this has been a guy who's been the greatest economic president of my lifetime. I think he's laser focused on getting people relief in the American economy, getting prices down. That's the right focus, Brian.
Right. And also, we're watching the price of oil go down. I think it's $74 a barrel. The oil and gas people say it can't go below 65 or they stop making money. They'll have to stop drilling. So we're getting close to that threshold right now. Meanwhile, there's a poll out there right now from Fox News, and it goes like this. When asked, do you think Iran's going to live up to this deal, 64% say it's unlikely the deal will stop them from pursuing a nuclear weapon. And it's not just Democrats. 53% of Republicans agree. Josh, what column are you in?
No, well, I don't trust them at all. I mean, there's no reason to trust them, and that's why I thought what the president said today, we're maintaining our leverage. We're not giving up anything here. I mean, listen, we put their nuclear program under rubble. We can do that again. We're not going to give away anything. We're going to hold them to their terms. I think that's absolutely key. At the end of the day, if you can keep their nuclear program shut down, if you can keep the Strait open, if you can get Americans economic relief, that's pretty good, Brian. And again, I know there are terms to be worked out. The president emphasized there's a lot more negotiating to do. But I think a couple of key things here, some big wins, getting that Strait reopened, getting the nuclear program stopped. That's good stuff. Let's see what else he gets.
Senator, the other thing is that's been overblown. We keep hearing how America's alone. We've alienated our allies. And things will never be the same. Did you see what happened at the G7? It just happened to be prime time in the morning show, being the time shifted. And every one of these leaders wanted their quality time with the president. From the Arab world to the G7, the EU signed their trade deal 48 hours ago. Those people that said we're never going to forgive us for wanting to make Greenland a productive island off our shores. It looks like that's over. It looks like any type of rift has been healed. Is that what you got?
Yeah, because they've seen the overwhelming dominance of our military. They've seen that the president knows how to conclude a conflict when he's gotten what he wants out of it. Right. And they want to be close to the United States because we're the strongest nation in the world.
Senator Josh Hawley, thanks so much.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.